how we were trained, we did not play. First 2 years were fundamentals. In my facility, school of volleyball, you're doing fundamentals. Well, is there play? No, hey, I have developmental league, but it's really not a league. It's us really showing you how to rotate, what are the positions. Because sometimes I would have a middle school kid that have been playing 4 years, but they still don't know the zones in the court, the responsibilities, what really is the essence for it. So for me, it's always more education. And really at early stage, the better the fundamentals, think about building the house. And I think this is kind of a common sense, but then I realize it's not. Like if we build the right foundation in kids that I have, that I've coached from the very little, and now as they're growing, the separation at the top is huge because they have done the work. That is not hard, but they have done the right work. Typically, they tend to have all skills, which again, we are lacking because you're either passer or you're hitter. And volleyball, it's not like that. Like to me, it's not like that. For me, even now with Lawson in college, I said my outside's gotta play 6 rotation. It's not a 3 rotation sport. I know in a rec league and stuff, everybody gets to play, but the best athletes out there, and if one day that's the goal to progress the athlete, then we need to teach pass, right? Passing, hitting, serving, blocking, footwork. So I always call it like if you're a doctor, you're gonna go to med school, but then you're gonna specialize into the eyes or ankles or whatever, knees. You're not just going and learning about the knee. So I think volleyball has got a little bit that way. You're just a hitter. So even when I'm recruiting people, like they can be amazing hitter, and I give them ball control 7 there on a beginner level, literally. So that's to me like mind blowing. So maybe this is a small piece of puzzle, but maybe this will encourage to really like ponder on the skills, and especially at a young age that they're developing all the skills properly. All right, so first we're gonna warm up a little bit, or you guys can be hopping around. Are you warm? Feeling warm? Good to go? All right, I love to start with setting. Setting is also a piece of the puzzle that I was a setter, that a lot of coaches, they just don't want to deal with it because they don't know, they're scared of it, right? I don't know what to do. Then they look things up, and when you look on a wide internet, it's getting wild right now. So, and I like to simplify with setting. So kiddos, we're gonna do a little setting ball control, but first thing, tell me what you know about setting. You know? Okay, what about you? You use your legs to set it up. What about hands? All right, triangle. Right, big hands. Okay. All right. Hey, I need to hear you. You know, we're building little athletes here, so you need to speak the way I speak. So I don't be quiet, girls. Can we do it? All right, what you got? I love it. You aim with your foot. Oh, angle with your foot, okay? All right, we got some good guesses, but I'm gonna kind of get it from scratch. So that's what I'm saying. There is a lot of terms out there, and I think in a way maybe it gets confusing also for kids. Like triangle and stuff, I completely went away from it. So I teach it very simple. Which shape is the ball? It's round, right? Circle. So for us to set effectively, which shape our hands need to be? Circle. Right? The ball has to fit your hands, as simple as that. That's the simplest way you can teach a beginner that they're not thinking triangle, rectangle, from square. I've heard all kinds of stuff. I think it just gets confusing. So big hands. Here we go. Up, big hands. All right, big hands. Yes. Ball is round, so hands are round, and I'll get to that, call it triangle. I don't call it a little Hershey's kiss. But hands around, and if they're in the right place, look at this. Boom, ball perfectly fits in the hands. Now it's easy to use the fingertips that they want to use. And I'll point out not also what a lot of beginners do. And so here we go, lift up. So big hands around the ball. All right. That's good, and I'll explain on both sides kind of what we're looking for. Bring those thumbs a little bit. Don't push against it with your thumbs. Let the ball, yes. Let the ball come inside of hands. Let's go. So hands are big. Good. Look, you already have steady hands. All right. Big hands. We're gonna also talk about where is the point of contact. So hands are big. Around, hands are big, and you guys can come both, or parents, you can come here. You're not, so you can see around. Big hands, lift up. So you see how you're narrow and overlapping? All right. And I'll explain here. So if you move and back, we want to contact the ball midline of the body and above the forehead. I call it elbows should have a cushion. So there is again a lot of in, outs. Yeah, there is a little motion when they're younger, probably a little bit bigger motion, pushing. But as we get on a little bit higher level, we're going to be more pushing it up with the elbows, right? So we're not going to just go in a full, like yes, when we're little, we're going to work that, but the more stamina they get, it's going to be less of this, okay? So what I was just showing them there, hands are big, right? They're round. If you look at my thumbs, they're in line. Where a lot of kids go wrong, they're actually pushing their thumbs forward, right? So I call this small hands. They go in a W. The ball rotates on the back, so their sets end up being something like that. So if you are teaching or correcting hands, always think everything should be aligned. Thumbs in line, index fingers in line, about equal distance here, so you don't want narrow at the top or narrow at the bottom. You want about equal distance. All 10 fingertips naturally follow the ball. All right? And if you look at elbows and this, they're in line. If you see, if they push too much forward, do you see how there is like a break here? So you can also monitor that, okay? And lastly, well, two more things that I say when I setting cues. It's same way in, same way out, and then we're gonna do a drill for it. So this is what I mean. Before and after the set, a lot of kids do a lot of things, right? Follow throughs, basketball shoots, unleveled thumbs, unleveled hands. When you train them, you wanna train them as much as possible. The hands remain the same before and after set. So always and always little emphasis, even off the floor, hands don't change. The weight is in the wrist, not in the fingertips. All right, so now, 5 of you are gonna be our, come on. We're gonna do basic ball control. Come on, face this way. We're gonna walk it down and back. Hands are big, all right? Right? Put them in position to be set. So you see right away how they love to kick under. Immediately their ball goes in the back. Also, another thing that happens when that happens, they'll tilt their back backwards and their chins back. So early age, right away, bad habits, and they stay there. So when I see 7, 8, 9 graders, give them set. You're here. You wanna teach them to really stay at that sweet spot. And early on to be neutral, like by neutral, no recoil back, so walking down the back. So now, we're just gonna ball control. Think about like you're bouncing the ball. You're walking, you don't wanna change your hands. So same way in, same way out. And neutral, eyes on top. Got it, you guys can spread out. Here we go. Go. So you see how your thumbs are coming under and out? Big hands around the ball. Don't push them out. So same way out. Coming down, you're too narrow at the top. So bring your thumbs over here. All right, come on, spread out. That was pretty good. We're gonna go backwards. Come on. Going backwards, big hands. Same way in, same way out. Come on. Big hands. Where are your thumbs? Level your thumbs. No push. bring them to that neutral position of no recoil. Here we go. So just look normal, eyes are up. You're setting good. Good. Yes, hands around, good. And I know they're young, so they're not going to be perfect. But another thing, hold on. She's thrown like this. So her neck goes back. And also there's a lot of tension right away in the shoulders. So just the little things that, again, if trained right properly early on, whole new ball game, like within 6 months, within a year. Okay? How's that? Good? Let's do a little bit better. We're gonna go again. Remember, big hands, we want the ball to fit inside of our hands. So just walk normal, going down, and neutral as much as you can, going back. Got it? If it's a little tilt, that's fine, but you just don't want to be conditioning like that. Here we go. Big hands. Good. Thumbs facing each other like they're two friends talking. They're not going to the ceilings. Hey, so you started good. What's your name? Margaret? You started first grade to sets and then you went up. So remind yourself to bring it back in. Going down. Going back. Here we go. Big hands. Big hands. That's good. Thumbs level. You're going to have some nice hands from there. Loosen up. See, up. Just go. Neutral head. See. Big hands. Big hands. Big hands. Hands around. Hands level. Again, this will all take time, but they're doing pretty well actually. So, kind of as a coach, you want to see those discrepancies, like nailing in. That's usually going to produce the sound. If they're in the right place, there's no noise because the ball is fitting. All right. Typically, I do this for warm up for any age group. Collegiate, my girls warm up like that. Little people, they warm up like that. So, one thing that I will say, I gotta say it kind of like ticked me off a few days ago. We had a camp and we had a 12-year-old and mom said, well, according to description, we thought it would be more advanced and they've known all the skills, but those kids cannot do left, right, left, cannot ball control. So I can't advance you. That's like you're asking me, like asking a kid without knowing ABCs to write a book. I can't do that, right? So I think there is some confusion to how, like, there is like progress that needs to be made. We can't just progress them because of our feelings, but we really got to meet them where they are. So next thing that I love to do, typically I go 3 times down and back. That's my warm up. Instead of them warming up, high knees, all that, nobody cares, nobody's doing it right, I give them ball control right away. So they're getting touches. Now we're gonna go sideways, we're gonna get a little athletic. So, same thing, contact midline of your body. Now you're going down and back. Same way in, same way out. You also gotta pay attention so you're not going back forward. So you wanna kind of expand your peripheral vision and kind of being able to see where you're going. Got it? Let's do it. Three times, down and back. Go. Big hands. Push to the side. Big hands. Know where you are. Good shuffle. Coming down. Coming back. Big hands. Big hands. Midline of your body. Good. Hands around. Neutral head. All right. Another very important thing for you young ladies to learn right away. Who is in charge of the ball? You? Are you? You need to be. Any skill, you're in charge of the ball. Hitting, blocking, serving, passing, setting. So if I want to set, it's never what I tell my kids, don't be mushy with it. It's not ball that is in charge. You're in charge. So grip that ball. So if I want to set to you, I'm sending the ball, and you'll maybe down the road say index fingers to the target. Technically, where you set, wherever you set, your index fingers will point. With a lot of kids, their thumbs are pointing. Got it? So it's a very subtle. If I'm back setting, my index fingers will point. This stays the same. If I'm side setting, it's gonna be the same motion, but that's a little advanced. All right, so next thing, I'm not gonna do it again, so they can do 3 times full court. That's a great warm-up. Then if they're getting the hang of it, they can keep the ball alive. I start adding lunges. Come down with a lunge. Every step, good control down, good control up. Backwards lunge, eyes look up. Get a little mechanics in it. Core control, no leaning. You'll see all kinds of stuff. So then I ask them, are you ready for a challenge? Woo, we are. All right, let's add karaoke. Most of them don't know how to do karaoke, but then you teach. All right, legs are busy, hands are busy, right? Can we do that? Let's do it. Karaoke, down and back. Go. You gotta stay in charge of the ball. Get your thumbs out of the way. Coming down, coming back. Let's get karaoke. Good. Good. Cece, hey, you're too crunched up. Listen up again. Push. Good. So you can go 3 times. Lastly, if they're a little bit older or you have really amazing group, athletic kids, you can go, and I love to do for a warm-up, always opposite arm, opposite leg. So going down, hoppity hop. Nice with the jumps. Same thing, coming back. Can you all do that? Let's do it. Here we go. 1. Yeah, that's better. Woo! This is a good group. Keep the ball alive. Not going backwards. No falling though. We gotta figure it out. Woo! Little rhythm. Okay. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Here we go. You got it. All right, so I'm gonna go 3 times. I'm not gonna go 3. So another amazing thing that you can get a lot of reps quickly is they can go against the floor. So this is where you come in play and they can really see their hands. Hands are big, right? All 10 fingertips on the ball, they're close to the floor. They're going aggressively but trying to keep the hands in the same spot. So just getting that. So they go like 50 times up, right away to 50 times up. 50, 50, 50, 50, 300 reps in like 2 minutes. So let's do it once. Big hands, against the floor, go. Big hands, big hands. See how they're small? So you go like this. Remember, these gotta be big. So those are perfect hands. You're just gonna stay there. All right. No patting the ball. Whoa, where are my big hands? Do you guys see what I'm seeing? All right. So they're going like, they typically gonna go, think about it, big hands. For some, like even her sister's older setter, I tell them pop the skin in between. Big hands, they tend to go here. Big hands, rounded hands. Rip the ball, be in charge. Be in charge, off lady, come on. Here we go. Big hands, not a tap with the fingertips. All right, good, self set. Here we go, go. No dipping. Head neutral. It's nothing. Good. Hands around. Big hands. Giant big hands. Good. Well, it's funny thing, one time I had a girl that actually had a big hands. I think she was self-conscious about it. I kept repeating the entire time, big hands, big hands. I think she went along all day long. I'm like, I didn't think of that. I was like, big hands are great hands for a setting. So that's another thing, developing a setter, you actually want even naturally bigger hands, longer fingertips. Nobody pays attention to that, I do. There we go, hands around. All right, but you get a point. There's a couple of other things that I want to show that I love to do with beginners. Again, my beginner drills, I do them with my collegiate. As a matter of fact, the other day, one of my girls on the team, she struggles when we get to the hitting with the left arm. And you know, even with collegiate, you don't necessarily pause because you're right away moving into things. And I had to work with pastors, so I sent them against the wall. Very beginner drill, just to hit out of the hand. She came in, I'm like, oh my God, that helps so much. You know, but at a collegiate, if you tell them go to your basic hitting drill, or you even give a middle schooler that, the parent tends to get in a way, be like, oh, that's too basic for my kids. Like, oh, yeah, you need to get better at basics. So my best advice is basics, no matter how pro you are. Listen to Kobe Bryant, 4 a.m., basics. Dribble one, closed eye dribble. Two, professionals are not too good for basics, but now we have a 10, 12-year-olds whose parents think they're too good for it. So I think we collectively, if you're in a coaching role, we really need to send a message of basics. That's my recommendation now. All right, let's go against the wall very, very quickly. Come on, girls. Come on. So,